suspended, I think, isn't like.
Are we live? People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Obviously, people, good morning to those of you like myself in the United Kingdom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, of course, good night. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Hope you had a great weekend, had a good week last week, and you're ready to attack your goals, hopes, dreams, and ambitions and move closer to such this week. Without health, you can't do anything. Without health, you're literally dead. So as usual, you know, I wish you all have good health and things like that. One love to the long-time supporters, the people who have just tuned in, the members, everything, man. Without you lot, there'd be no point sitting here now. One love to everyone that was on Twitch, where from a tactical point of view, we spoke about Arsenal. We spoke in relation to the game. Any opinions, let me know. If you know, let me know your opinions, your questions, your talking points, all that toshing in it, people. But it is what it is, man. I'm happy that we got that out. Let's go over some transfer news, innit? There's AUBAMEYANG, there's Vlahovic, there's Isak, there's, you know, a whole heap of things happening. Nothing's happened really and truly. Odds on DG being late, odds on DG being late. I don't think I didn't see them comments, man. That's what made me quickly hurry up again. There's actually a legit reason why I was several minutes later, man. Mother Nature called without being nasty. It is what it is, man. It's better out than in and that. But moving away from all of that, I hope you're doing well and safe. Tina, I'm doing well, man. You know, woke up on Monday. Want to move that much closer to my goals, hopes, and dreams, innit? We're chasing 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. Appreciative to everyone who's part of the journey so far. We're trying to get to 10K on Twitch. Make sure you're supporting the thing on that. We go play Football Manager later today. So yeah, man, I've been up early. I've handled what I've needed to handle. Still need to reply to a couple emails. After this, I'm gonna go get a quick gym session in, which last week I only went gym twice. I wanted to go 3 times, so I'm quite vexed. So go get that in, then come back. So a bit of a hectic day, really. Obviously, people, make sure you're aware because I'm going to be doing a couple of AFCON streams, African Cup of Nations streams. The problem is, well, it's not a problem, but it'll be on Twitch. So make sure you're checking your Twitch schedules. Wednesday at 2 p.m. I'm pretty sure I've got Mo. And we're jumping a bit ahead, but the 2nd of February, I should have Graham, and I'm trying to get some other collabs and things going, man, especially with Arteta's contract, top 4, the transfer window, what's going on. It's brazy, man. It's brazy, man. Is what it is. Deep dive into Isak needed. Has he got the DG stamp? But I like Isak. You know, I think people gas it. I think he's still raw. I think he's got good general play. He can score goals, but I think he's very raw. I think if we're pinning our hopes on him to deliver 20 league goals immediately, or if he was to join in January to just hit the ground running, I think we might be sadly mistaken. I do think he'd go through a purple patch, but he's still young, and it's not like he don't look like one of these. He's basically the same age as Vlahovic, but he don't look like these Vlahovic and these Haalands and these Mbappes. These, you know, them ones there where they're still young, but age is irrelevant. I think Isak's a bit more human. He fits our philosophy, but I do think at this moment in time, at least I do think there's potential, but you'd still see the same things you're seeing in terms of a lack of goals. And for a young 20-odd-year-old to pin all our hopes mid-season on him to adapt physically and stuff to the Prem is probably a fallacy. Now, as I said before, every striker we bring in is a risk. You know, every striker carries a risk, so it is what it is. Probably should have done it in the summer. I wonder how close the club were actually to signing Tammy Abraham in that regards. But pardon me, it is what it is, man. Like, we're gonna have to get on. He's got the DG stamp, but the general play, all of that stuff will be there. I don't know if he would be 30 in that regards, if it makes sense. But I guess we're gonna just have to see in relation to that, really and truly. Let's get into half of that soon, man. He's got the DG stamp, but yeah, man. Big up DG. Hope you're okay after the rubbish we saw yesterday. It is what it is. We need to move on, man. Andrew, for all the banter you give me, I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well, bro. As I said, I'm good, man. You know, woke up, want to move that much closer to my goals, hopes, and dreams. Blessed to have a supporters group and people who love to talk about football every day like you lot. So yeah, man, I can't complain about nothing, man. Death, taxes, and DG streams, you know the thing. The key name in the last 4 games, Ainsley Maitland. Now, I wouldn't say key name. I just think we've shown naivety. You know, we've again, I don't disagree with, in theory, letting Maitland-Niles go, letting Guendouzi go because there was problems, letting Torreira go because there's issues. But we was betting on a lot, and we've shown our naivety, even down to that, and not replacing or bringing in bodies and not have been over prepared than under. You know, if it's cold outside, you'd rather have too much layers and take one off than not have any. And I think it's a cold January. We're struggling in midfield. We ain't got none. Conga's having to learn these harsh lessons really and truly very quickly. And you're leaving him to his own devices. We're leaving our young players bewildered. Our experienced players don't put in the shift. Going on Edu's comments, when I sit here and I hear there's no targets for this season, I'm not going to be naive. Internally, there is, but to a fan, it don't look good. Experienced ones will do whatever. It's naive. Whether we're playing one game a week or 10, we know Arsenal have a problem with injuries. We know the Premier League is demanding. We've sat here before with COVID and all of these things affecting us. So we knew these things were a thing, and we've shown naivety in August because, again, it only looked like we wanted to bring in a midfielder when it looked like a certain midfielder here was going to keep it moving. It looked like we only wanted to It looked like that's the only time we wanted to do that. It looked like the only time we want to bring a midfielder in now is evidently because there's problems there's problems in the middle of the park. So you get what you pay for. We've shown naiveties, and you know, we probably sealed our fate in August for games like the Bournemouth one. We knew we was probably going to struggle in them sort of games there. Burnley, because we can't break down the low block. And we don't have the personnel to do it. You know, Xhaka and Partey might have been needed yesterday, but they've been part of Kalas performances as well. Let's have it right. You know, Xhaka might have given a handbrake to Tierney to fly forward a bit more, but it wasn't levels really and truly. It weren't good enough. I don't know why my internet's playing up as well, people, which is a shame. Let me come out and come back in just a second, man. In fact, let's just hope it sorts it out. I probably am a bit blurry. I don't know what's going on there. It was working all fine on Twitch. So it's bugging out, man. Morning, everyone. Let me take some questions. How frustrating was that yesterday? Get Vlahovic and Sanchez in 100%. You know, if only if it was that easy, man. I mean, Vlahovic looks like that's a myth, really. DG, are you going to do a loan report next week? We'll do it this week, man. I've been slacking in that. Big up, DG. I've not seen you live in a while. Been watching the replays. I'm afraid we're going to finish 7th, bro. I hope you're wrong, but boy, it's looking crazy, man. Hey, DG, we are playing Kendall Jenner, dull, boring, and completely... I walked in Denver. Chill out, man. They're going to try cancel me. I'm even bad. But what a guy, man. Hey, listen, he's cool, man. He's cool. Hey, man, I needed that this morning. It's a chain reaction started from Xhaka. I mean, if we're relying on these individuals, which Mikel Arteta was, you know, you betted around and you made him key to your side, you're going to get these things. You're going to experience these things. Yeah, man, I'm frozen. I'm pretty sure can you still hear me? Yeah, man, I should be back. Was the video frozen? I think the video was frozen, but you can still hear me. Apologies for them technical difficulties. We're back, people. We should be back. I should be cool. Let me know if I'm fine, people. I don't know what StreamYard's playing. That StreamYard's coming like Arsenal's defense. Dead, leggy, and uninspired. Crazy. It's absolutely brazy. It's back. We go again, man. Appreciate that. One love for you lot for notifying me. Hit the like button, people, as I said. So, yeah, it's a brazy one where Arsenal are concerned, man. Again, it's not, even when unpopular opinion, even when we've won games, you've seen, you know, lethargicness in terms of our build-up play. It's exaggerated because we haven't got Xhaka and Partey. You've moved Ben White, who normally charges forward and stuff. You've moved him over to right back. Clearly, the way we're playing indirectly yesterday, there was a bit of a handbrake. Until we had to go for it in the second half, you didn't see the fullbacks really supporting. And when people were going forward, they were isolated. For at least the first 20, Saka's receiving it from the halfway line. Is it any coincidence, like Southampton at home, our key players are in further forward positions and they're causing problems? You know, Saka went missing in the second half, but at a point he was causing issues. Smith Rowe with his finish was going forward and probably should have had a goal and assist. Lacazette, you know, works well with the young players, all of that. But I told you, look, you need goals. Lacazette had some meaty goals he should have been scoring, even back to when it was all going well. When he's missing penalties and missing calamitous misses when we're winning at home, nobody cared. People only care about our lack of build-up play and stuff when we've lost. You know, it weren't evident against Burnley, but poor on the transition, too easy to brush past our players, a lack of a midfield, a lack of players putting it in. And, you know, as much as the players being poor and the players doing stuff, the board and Arteta have to take blame. You could have pushed for a midfielder. You didn't push for a midfielder, you know. Again, you've betted on these strikers. You keep telling us Eddie New Deal and lack of this and that. Then, man, Aubameyang's not been a thing, and he's still not a thing, you know. Aubameyang's still the top goal scorer. It doesn't make sense, really and truly. DG, you said I was being harsh on the manager before the game. I think we need to talk about the absolute context, because what I'm saying now is what I was saying then. You know, he is out of his depth in many ways. He's a novice manager. He's just taking it. But the problem is, you know, support the guy, really, not us fans. The board need to support it. So, again, I always give the example about standing in the rain. We've stand in the rain. We're complaining. They say it's 1-0 loss. The defense wins you leagues. The strikers win you games. Our strikers aren't doing it. The midfield battle is where it is 9 times out of 10. And we just simply have not been doing it, really and truly. And it looks like we're having Wi-Fi issues again, people, which is fantastical, isn't it, really? What the hell is going on? Don't know what the hell is going on there, man. I don't know what's going on. It's cop blocking the whole operation, people. A whole operation. But yeah, as I said, it's meaty, really and truly. Like it's mediocre what we're doing. It's mediocre how we're carrying on, and it's self-inflicted more than anything. You know, that's the frustration, because you could see this coming a mile off. You could see we're very naive in midfield. You saw it going back to Brighton away, where we was out of our depth and we were lucky to get a point. You saw it with Crystal Palace. You saw it even when we beat Newcastle. You saw it against Southampton. You saw it against Liverpool, how we needed a 6 and an 8 in that game. This game, you can see why there's a need for a striker and a midfielder. You know, until you get a midfielder, you're not going to see Smith Rowe, Saka, these guys get to the next level. Any coincidence when we're gambling a bit more and they're closer to the opposition's goal, they're asking more questions? Or is it just me? Or are we going to act like football is some Formula One thing where you need to do algebra to talk about the aerodynamics and stuff? Football's a simple game, complicated by dickheads. General Arsenal thoughts. Let's call that general Arsenal thoughts. God, please make the Wi-Fi pattern up. It's, you know, we've got Wi-Fi and we're plugged in. What the hell is going on? Lacazette worked well, but had to score. He ran about. I'm not going to give you effort, work rate for pressing. You know, you press well, you worked well, but again, he's never in the box. And the one time he's in the box, he didn't finish. Same way, not to make it all about Lacazette, but if we're waffling against Burnley about 2-3 chances, maybe Smith Rowe's save with Pope, Lacazette's effort, and a couple others, are we creating enough? For all those 20 shots we allegedly had, are we creating enough? And it's been a disastrous start to 2022. It's been a fantastic January, hasn't it, people, really? You know, Arsenal fans can't waffle about being the best team since the start of 2022, like last year, really. And for me, with Mikel Arteta, when he says the market is complicated and things, he's not wrong. But I'm sure if we go back last year, we heard that. At what point did the excuses or whatever, do we just have to call a spade a spade? We said Lokonga would be the backup. We're having to over-rely on our backup man now. You know, an inexperienced man. Arteta is coming out and saying, oh, he's playing more than he had to. Why? Because it's not, we haven't equipped the side. As I said, I do not care about Guendouzi, Torreira, Maitland-Niles, all with their personal situations leaving, because logically it made sense. But we've got no depth, even to the point where when we're seeing Ainsley go out on loan, we're thinking, surely the club has to be patterning something. Surely. And I'm sure we are. I'm sure in the back burners, Edu, and that is. But at the end of the day, boy, as fans, we can only see at face value. And at face value, boy, you lot know I'm lost for words. I can't even formulate a sentence to describe what's going on, D. The next game is Wolves. I'd say, thank God it's not next week and we've got a rest. But Wolves is going to be tough. Midweek, under the lights. Nobody's really gassing up their team, but them and their managers doing well. We all know about Ruben Neves. We know about João Moutinho. Let's hope that, you know, Cedric can bribe his Portuguese teammates and that and allow us. But bro, Wolves is going to get mad. Wolves could be mad. Laka's good, but unless Laka's going to be a squad player, play the cup games and do whatever, he can't be the main man. He can't. We need to find a top striker. Ideally, you need a next one in the squad, but Laka can't be the main man. And I told you, lot, be wary of Because Arsenal fans do this. When we find a little system or personnel, we act like that's the thing forever. Like we have with Smith Rowe off the left or in the 10, Odegaard in many roles, Lacazette and Aubameyang together. One of the two is, well, unless you're City or to a degree Liverpool, one system isn't going to work all the way. You know, even though Chelsea have stayed with three at the back, they hit a bit of a wobble. We're going to hit a bit of a wobble. Yesterday was naive and predictable. And, you know, look at G1. Big up you. Arteta's not going anywhere, man. There's talk of a new deal. Arsenal are not the club that's going to move a gaffer on if these 10 Hags and these guys became available. But this is why I think talk of your Wi-Fi. Trust. And I think they are messing with it because your comments aren't coming up. What's going on? Fuck's sake, man. This is a cop block, man. Should I connect my phone? Just have to keep doing that. I disagree, DG. Guendouzi and Saliba improved this side. Listen, they will give us depth, but Guendouzi, let's not act like Guendouzi's the answer all the time. He give us depth, but people say the same things. In relation to Saliba, you know, people are not going to give that young centre-half time to learn, really. I would, you know, I think there'll be good options, but we can't always look at man like they're the Messiah, really and truly. I'm going to connect my phone to this and see what happens, people. Let me connect my phone, man. God, this is jarring me, and I can't take it. I don't know what's going on over here with BT, but let's pattern something, man. The hell is my Wi-Fi? What's my personal Wi-Fi called? What is this called? DG's iPhone. Is it working? I think we're connected to my Wi-Fi. Well, I couldn't join it. That's a shame. But yeah, moving on, man. I don't know, man. Apologies for any problems. It's pissing me off as much as it's pissing you lot off. But we just have to hold it, people. We just have to hold it. Big up you lot. And one thing I didn't understand Smith Rowe coming off. I know he's not trained that much and he's not done this and that, but I don't understand why Smith Rowe came off. You know, I understand keeping Lacazette on. We ain't got too many things, but I thought he was very fortunate to complete 90 minutes. And I think yesterday, we can talk about the players and whatever. We had enough to defo get 3 points yesterday, regardless of the context with the injuries and things like that. But we sealed our fate in August, when we came into it with a squad like this. These are sort of the games were going to happen. And you add in, anytime you lose, you could do better. But I would say cheap defeats or cheap points dropped this season off the top of my head. I think we're lucky to get a point against Brighton, but true say we was never in it from the start. So I think, I'd say that's cheap. Crystal Palace, defo cheap. Burnley, cheap points dropped. I would say considering against Everton and Manchester United, I wouldn't say Man United at Old Trafford's cheap points, but you took the lead. You failed to come home with something, whether that's 1 point or 3 points. You start adding these up, and then you add in, Chelsea, Brentford, these managers battered us, and the fact that we're going to drop points this season again, boy, you've got to start checking them off, really. Other people are going to drop points, but you've got to take advantage, especially when you see what happened this week. Man United are laughing. Reality is, I'm sure Man United fans would say their performances against Brentford and West Ham have not been good enough, but they got 6 points on the board. This is why I said be wary of drawing conclusions. I never forget, I told you not to calm down. Arsenal fans so people swear on their mum's life they weren't, but man, we're looking at, Liverpool and Chelsea second and third. Man, we're getting excited. Relax. And the sentiment could change, because Arteta was the best thing since sliced bread. To some, lost the game or drawn the game that feels like I lost it onto him, just like against Brighton off the back of a good run. This is why I tell you, look, keep balance. We're not that good when we win games. We're not that bad when we losing games. We're a volatile club. We have a young squad with a naive manager. We're going to do naive things. And for me, the one frustrating thing about Mikel is he's acting like woe is me when he's saying, the market's complicated. We've got injuries. We've had to play players that haven't trained and stuff. I'm sorry, but you've played a full season as a gaffer. I'm not saying everything's going to be perfect, but we need to be a bit smarter. And just when I thought you was managing people a bit better, we've lost Tommy Asu now. We're winning back. We tried to win a battle. We lost not only the battle against Liverpool because we hang them out to dry. We've lost the war. And, where he's not in the Japanese side anymore right now. I'm only saying Ainsley Maitland-Niles key because I'm seeing Ben White play right back yesterday. Lokonga against Burnley, Liverpool, and this is the thing. This is the thing. We have to say that if you bring in a midfield, no one cares about Guendouzi, Maitland-Niles, whatever. If we're scoring goals, nobody cares about Lacazette not scoring. But the problem is, man, I have to say, well, what's going on with AUBAMEYANG? Not that he's someone to be champion. You know what's going on here and there. You've got to cover your aces, and we looked at this on a naive thing. Oh, we'll get the boys back from AFCON. You know, technically we get the boys back from AFCON already, and it looks like we might be trying to cheat the game with that. People need to calm down. Yesterday was disappointing, but we are not out of the top 4 race. We have more than 2 weeks break. We should have a fully rest team by then, ready to kick on. We're not out of nothing, but I'm still the same way. And Paul, you always hear, I've said the same things I'm saying in August. I don't really believe in our top 4 shouts. I have a bit more motivation because we're there. You need to get Europe. You show me good, bad, and the ugly. We're not out of it, but we need to get a move on, and we're down to our bare bones. And the wickedest, we're playing a dangerous game. We're relying on Eddie and Lacazette, who ain't got £2 to rub together in terms of goal scoring from now until the end of the season. Potentially, if we don't sign a striker, Mikel Arteta is cutting off his nose to spite his face. You have to bring back in AUBAMEYANG. You know, we're relying us winning is fixated on Martinelli, Smith Rowe, and Saka. As great as they are, that should never be the case. You know, if they're having off days, we don't win. They're on it, we win. You know, Liverpool have great players, but then, you know, whether Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, and these young G's play well or not, you know, typically Salah's about, Van Dijk's about, Fabinho's about. We don't have that. Our experienced players are letting us down, and we've bet on these experienced players. Mikel Arteta specifically has bet on these players. You know, Xhaka plays no part in this game directly. It's not his fault against Burnley, but he got sent off for a brainless decision. You play him. If this the guy you're betting on to get top 4, on ability, we're playing a dangerous game. You know, Thomas Partey, again, I love him, but you have to throw him into that now. I don't know what you're on. We have to be a bit more positively pessimistic. DG, you should just get a power line adapter for your internet. Just plug it into your wall socket and one next to the router. Carl, I used to study IT. We found out that was bullshit, though. It don't work. Big up DG and the nation. I'm truly disappointed, but we should judge Arteta and our team in May. And I said I will shut my mouth until the end of this January to see what you bring in. I'll shut my mouth until May. But what I won't do is praise and critique fairly. You know, when we're doing well, admittedly, everyone wanted to waffle. So when we're doing a bit of a shaky one, we need to speak about it. As long as it's free from agendas and all these things, and we're talking about the good, bad, and the ugly, because that's what I feel is the problem with Arsenal. People only want to talk about these warning signs and these problems, which have been there even when we beat Norwich, our first game of the season at the Emirates. People only talk when the results are shaky. Win, lose, or draw, these cracks are there, you know. I feel sorry for Lokonga, but this is it. Absolute brazy. Love for becoming a member, making individual mistakes. Smith Rowe came off when he was making things happen, true. And when Nketiah came on, when we need a goal, he only scores against championship sides. Does he do that? Didn't do that. Didn't do that against Nottingham Forest. Didn't do that when the Tugs were in. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. Look at the bench yesterday. Never had nothing to change the game. We didn't. We needed everything to go right within those first 90 minutes or 45 minutes, and it didn't. Ben White isn't as good as people think. He's Mustafi 2.0. Bit harsh. I think that's screaming agendas, really. Smash the likes if you haven't. Why do we have a fetish of always being 2-3 players short? We love it. Ben White's catching corn. Ben White is overrated, saved by Tomiyasu on a number of occasions. All he can do is pass from the back. That's it. He's decent, but that's one season. Again, this is a naive team. He's played one season in the Premier League. These guys are going to do dumb things and mistakes. Lokonga's going to make mistakes. These young players are going to make mistakes. This is why they need to be wrapped around with experience. But Guendouzi ain't the answer. We need Santi levels players who are blatantly good enough. Partey is world class. No one else in the Arsenal team is world class. Change my mind. Partey is not world class. World class is a mad shout. If you're not Ronaldo, Lima, Messi, historically Ronaldo, these sort of guys, world class is banged around too much. We played far too slow yesterday. Played right into Burnley's pack. Exactly. If you play slow against a low block, a deep block, it is what it is. You're not going to break them down, are you? Exactly. It's very unfair on their development. And you'd see them excel more if they had experienced players to hold their hands. Would you take Dominic Calvert-Lewin right now? I mean, I'm not really feeling it, but look who's up front. I did see Xhaka's interview, my guy, where he said about looking at Liverpool and all these things. Bro, you lot need to arrest your own form, because I keep saying it. I sit here on YouTube. You look at everybody who's got top four, bar probably who's finished first and second. The third and fourth places have been grabbed by teams who have just been a little less smelly than other people. Teams are better than us, but we haven't missed out on top four because everyone's far of us and they're doing the City thing. It's because we drop stupid points and do stupid things. And we never quite kick on and build when we've got something. As I said, do we genuinely want a midfielder, or is it because of what we're seeing with Partey and Xhaka? Did we genuinely want a midfielder in August, or is it because of Xhaka getting cold feet? This is the problem. And I'm not trying to make this about Xhaka. It's just he's a pillar of the team. This is where I'm looking at Arteta. If that's the foundations you're going to build the team on, then it's not strong enough. When the sun is shining, obviously it doesn't matter if you've got a hole in the roof, because you're not going. You might see the sun blaze through it, but you're not going to see rain. When it's raining and you know there's an issue. But hey, there's too many people. When we win, when we lose, they want to. They don't want to look at things for all of it is, and people don't fail to understand with Arsenal. There's multiple truths living in one realm, and I do think it's a point where if you blame the players, you're an Arteta apologist. If you look at what Arteta is doing, shaky, it's all the players. There's no balance. No balance. I wouldn't say Ben White's underrated, but yeah, man. Has Ben White played one season in the Prem Brighton? Yes, he's one season. This is his second year in the Premier League. I still say try Pepe up front. I mean, we got nothing to lose, but if that's the thing we're doing, we might as well pack it up, man. Like, we might as well pack it up, man. Might as well pack it up. Thoughts on hypothetically 3 at the back with White, Saliba, Gabriel? I'd love for us to be able to do that at some point, but I want to see 4. Partey was one of the best mids in Spain. It's just Arsenal. Of course, we sign players with no system. We buy them and we say, go work your magic. Doesn't work like that. And to be fair, with Partey, it's irrelevant now what you was doing there. And I do blame the system and a lot of things, but there's a lot of questions. Partey himself, he's playing shit because he's playing shit. These points were dropped in August. Current squad of available players will only give us performances like yesterday more often than not. Edu said Xhaka and Partey are the midfield future again. So that's what we have to judge them on. It's like when you're playing Willian, it gets to the point where, I have to stop looking at Willian. He's not picking himself. The bar's on the floor if Partey's world-class. Quality player, I'm Partey FC, but world-class? World-class. Man, don't know what world-class is, man. The level of the team brings Partey down, true, but he collapses himself as well. Like, collapses himself. DG, still no week signings with a week to go. How worried are you? I'll shut my mouth until the end of the window because I know things can develop quite quickly, but it's concerning as an Arsenal fan just looking at it. 110 likes. Please boost up the likes, people. That's not good enough. You lot are failing the guy. I can only judge on what I'm seeing, man. Can only judge on what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing kind of somewhat shookens me, but. And the thing is with us, we pin all our hopes that it's naive. We look at what I hate what Arsenal do. We need a midfielder and a striker. So we do need them, but we're going to just think, oh, you sign a striker, we just score goals, when it's deeper than that. Or you sign a midfielder, we just pattern up. Similar to, for years, sign a centre-half, we just improve defensively. Where for years that we all know that is not the case. But away from all of that, though, man, let's start getting into all this transfer stuff and whatnot, man. Again, you've got the transfer stuff, you've got AUBAMEYANG again, and them shenanigans there. So, yeah, let's see what's going on. The first thing we should do is go to the Athletic because it kind of covers several things in one, people. So, yeah, first bit of stuff, I need to go to the Safari application. Ornstein. AUBAMEYANG wants to stay in Europe. Well, I don't really care about Man United's managerial hunt or the fact that Lo Celso and Spurs are doing what they're doing, people. With scrolling all the way down, Arsenal are understood to have received an offer from a Saudi Arabian side, Al Hilal, to take the striker on loan with an option to buy and cover his full salary. There's interest from sides in Europe, including PSG, but AUBAMEYANG's wages are likely to be a problem for all of them. For PSG, them man, they are lying, man. Irrespective of Arsenal's response to Al Hilal's bid, which is not yet known, the Athletic understands that AUBAMEYANG is inclined not to accept a transfer to the Middle East at this stage of his career. If the 32-year-old is to leave Arsenal, with whom he's under contract until the summer of 2023, it is believed he'd want to stay in a top league and continue to operate at the highest level, people. The Gabon captain is said to be extremely ambitious and determined to prove his quality after a public fall from grace at Arsenal. Since returning early from the African Cup of Nations, he's understood to have resumed training, but separately and at different times from the senior squad. And again, Arteta was very blasé on if Aubameyang was going to Dubai. So if you bring in a striker, fair play, but you know you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. With Aubameyang's form, it's made him irrelevant. And obviously, if he's a bad egg, he's a bad egg. But Eddie Nketiah and Aubameyang are not scoring goals. If anything happens to Smith Rowe, Martinelli, you're going to need an option on that flank. And Aubameyang's still your top goal scorer, to be honest with you. So if you know, why are you going to do that? And if you're going to do that, that probably tells you because there's no real targets at Arsenal. There's nothing that will really make Arteta under a healthy sort of pressure, really, beyond the senses he's putting on himself. It's unclear if he will be in the party that travels to Dubai for warm weather camp. The official flight departs on Thursday, and some intend to go out in advance. Be lovely to see the young players playing, but that must be regarded as improbable given his current status and the possibility of a switch of next Monday's deadline. The number available to manager Mikel Arteta will be influenced by factors such as injuries, the Africa Cup of Nations, and COVID vaccination status. Jack Wilshere, who is training with Arteta's men while considering his next step, is expected to be in the group, but there are no plans to recruit him for a second spell. So, I mean, if Jack Wilshere is going to Dubai, credit to him, but that tells me you ain't got a club on the horizon then, which is good for him. What happens on Aubameyang is sure to intertwine with Arsenal's hopes of signing a striker. There are doubts about whether the pursuit of Dusan Vlahovic will succeed, not in relation to an agreement with Fiorentina, rather with the forward and his representatives, which again, he wants Juventus or someone bigger. But the North London club are actively exploring alternative options such as Real Sociedad's Alexander Isak. We knew that links were coming. If you're not paying his release clause, then it's not happening, is it? The Swedish international is reported to have a release clause, a mechanism Arsenal utilised to bring in Partey, and are keen to take advantage of elsewhere when viable. But sources indicate that in the case of Isak, Arsenal would attempt to negotiate a lower price. So again, January is a very difficult time to do business. Hopefully something can happen, but boy, I don't know. Sorry people, if I flick the screens for a second, we've got so many tabs open. There was talk about Aubameyang as well. I need to find that, people. There was talk. I just really want to keep up the theme with Aubameyang. Where is it? Again, when you look at it, people, you look at this Matt Serpo guy in terms of Aubameyang and misbehaving. Interesting that they keep confirmed reports from a Gabonese journalist that Aubameyang and Lamena were sent home from AFCON on disciplinary, in brackets, not medical grounds, after breaking all internal rules by partying all night in a club before the Ghana match, which doesn't sound great. Yes, players have denied the story. Above all, let's hope their health is okay, but a lot of details on the breach today in today's report. So again, it's another one where you've gone somewhere and been smelling up the place. Isak is better in my opinion. Man said Eddie can't negotiate, release clause merchant. Vlahovic, Isak, I'd agree. Jack ain't serious about football. That's harsh. 1 week left. We should sign someone quick, someone like Arthur. I mean, what I don't want Arsenal to do is panic buy. Arsenal's marketing team deserves a pay rise. Hyped up rumours of Vlahovic, even though it's virtually impossible, and will end up with Isak or someone on the final day. Oba should play. Cutting off our nose to spite our faces, man. But yeah, getting into stuff as well. With regards to Oba, Arsenal will only let him go on loan if a club pays all his wages. Top European clubs have expressed an interest, but would only pay some of his wages. El Nasser are willing to pay all of them, but Aubameyang has reservations. So again, you're going to have to deal with this one really and truly and nip that in the bud. I don't know for this Jack Gallagher guy. I think he's being pussy and lying, but apparently Aubameyang is reluctant to join El Hilal as he prefers a move with PSG and Juventus looking at him. But again, the Daily Mail confirms what we've just seen. 350 salary means it's a myth. You know, they had hoped to sign him. It's looking a myth. It's looking a myth. So yeah, you can see correlated reports. I don't know for how true 90-minute football or Mr. Jack Gallagher is. I mean, this face don't really look trustworthy, but allegedly Arsenal agreed terms with Arthur Melo over Juventus loan move. 90-minute understands Arthur Melo has agreed terms with Arsenal ahead of his proposed loan move. I mean, to be fair, we heard he agreed terms and whatnot. If it's about agreeing terms with Juventus, and on the best of days, it was problematic. We heard Aston Villa want to sign Bentancur, and Juventus played yesterday against AC Milan. Who was at that game? Their thingy. Aston Villa's head scout. Make of that what you will. Keeping up the Dusan Vlahovic daily Dusan. We knew it was going to end in heartbreak. Arsenal target Dusan Vlahovic, now ignoring Fiorentina's calls after £50.1 million bid. And he's actually got COVID now as well. He's been accused of ignoring calls after the club, calls from the club after Arsenal have reportedly made an offer. Reports claim Arsenal have made a £50.1 million bid, with Torreira going the other way. Juventus and City are looking at him. Apparently, the Fiorentina CEO has accused Vlahovic and his representatives of refusing contact with the club, which we know. We have not received any official bid for Vlahovic as things stand. We are open to discuss and negotiate, but we want Vlahovic and his agent to be clear on the future, as they are not answering. We need to talk about it. We want clarity from the player and his entourage. Fiorentina have a future, a group, a support, and a city that must focus for the season. I would like to talk about Fiorentina because Fiorentina plays, and I want to talk about the group that deserves everything that is happening, starting with the club. Every day we talk about Vlahovic. On this issue, Fiorentina has not received any offers, sorry. We're open to everything, but we want clarity. So they're open to everything. Arsenal have done their part, bidding for players that don't want to sign. Keep it moving now, man. For what it's worth, apparently Arsenal and Arthur continue talks, people. The Brazilian at the moment has not communicated his will directly to Allegri, who conversely is ready to give him more and more minutes. However, the player remains clear. The entourage encounters with Gunners in London testify to this. Contact they will resume with all parties starting tomorrow. I saw this yesterday, so that's today. Not only that, confirmation arrives from Arsenal on the proposal of Aston Villa for Bentancur, for which the team coached by Gerrard is ready to spend 20 million euros. So they're trying to do their thing. That gives them money to get Zachariah. Arsenal need to change formula on Arthur. The Gunners have proposed to pay all the salary of the former Barcelona player and take him on loan to the end of the season. An offer that does not fully convince even the player, who clearly intends, should he change his shirt, to bind himself more clearly to the new project. So again, Google Translate isn't helping us, but we're still at loggerheads, really. Once again, this is, I don't know why I'm reading that. But yeah, Vlahovic breaks up with Fiorentina. He only wants Juventus. We are ready for anything. Let's scroll the way down. Time is running out. The thermometer of tension rises between Fiorentina and their Serbian duel. The lady has not given up the idea of bringing the best centre forward in the championship to the Turin already in this session. It is no mystery that the Serbian, expiring his contract in 2023, is a target for Juventus, but the Juventus management has developed the conviction that one can try to anticipate the future, also to help the team hit the minimum goal of fourth place, which means Champions League. What gives Juventus hope is, above all, change of course for Fiorentina, which is beginning to consider the idea of selling it immediately, even to Juventus, to avoid cashing in less in June. Crucial in this sense is the player's will, who has indicated Madonna as his priority and does not seem willing to give in to the law of the Premier League, in particular Arsenal. Vlahovic was excluded from the list along with on Saturday, which again due to COVID. But in this case, it is difficult to think that the transfer market has anything to do with it. So yeah, Fiorentina communicated the positivity of two players without, however, giving the names of the reasons, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, Dusan has chosen Juventus, with whom he already has an agreement for a rich, big contract, almost 7 million per season. And in Florence, they have understood that it is practically impossible to make him change his mind. So it's a peak. This is why Fiorentina feels their backs are against the wall. A year and a half after the expiration of his contract, he knows he cannot run the risk of losing it to zero, and also that it's not convenient to go to the wall, whatever that means. Again, they're waiting on their agent. Again, Darko Ristic, to understand what his intentions are. Again, we just heard that they want clarity. Juventus, in short, want to go for my man, but it looks like they're trying to deal with what they're dealing with, getting rid of names, the Ramses, potentially Arthur Melo, Bentancur, and whatnot. So long story short, pack up this Vlahovic thing. It's done, people. Allegedly, Eddie Nketiah could be on the move. Aston Villa have been urged to clinch by Kevin Phillips. Ain't no one care about no one's personal opinion. We need to see real stuff. Renato Sanches, again, he's whoring himself out again. Renato Sanches hints he is ready to leave Lille and reveals that Arsenal are interested in signing him. He always talks about his future. It doesn't look like offers are made. He said he's not renewing his deal, and he's clearly wanted out of Lille for a while. He's hinted he will leave Lille and has named Arsenal as one of the clubs he could move to. Scrolling all the way down. Maybe Milan and Arsenal are interested. I don't know. I spoke with my agent. I know which clubs are calling, but I can't say right now. But I know I'm ready. If an offer comes in, I'll find out what's best for me. Can talk and talks, but there's no. It doesn't seem there's any offers for Donny. What's this? We've been linked with Samuel Ricky again. Again, that's someone we should be going for, really and truly. You can play as a deep line playmaker. You can pass the ball forward. We need to bring people in the midfield. That's someone we should be looking at, in my opinion. And what is this as well? Arsenal consider Alexander Isak in new striker hunt with growing doubts over Vlahovic transfer. Pardon me, the Gunners want to sign a forward before the transfer window shuts next Monday, and Vlahovic has been their number one target. He has doubts, there's increasing doubts over whether Arsenal can convince him to move to the Premier League. He's keen to join Juventus, according to Italian reports. Straight out the school of Locatelli and Granit Xhaka, pulling our pants down again. Arsenal are considering other striking targets, including Isak, Jonathan David, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin's going to cost a pretty penny. Jonathan David, haven't they said it's a summer thing now? And Isak, again, Sociedad going to let him go. And Barca allegedly onto him as well. I wouldn't say Isak is the easiest deal to complete. I know he's got a release clause, but I'd say Jonathan David because Leo are a selling club, really. There's been talk that Real Madrid's Luka Jovic has been offered to the Arsenal on loan, but sources close to the player insist on Monday there's been no contact from the Gunners. Boy, and again, it highlighted our lack of goals. Lacazette and Nketiah are anything but different. Crazy potential. And again, he's got scope to grow, but we're looking at a lot. As much as I like Isak, I'm not quite seeing the propaganda. People acting like it's going to be instant success when he's not that sort of guy yet. So, boy, make of that what you will, people. Make of that what you will. What are these tabs? That's that. Boy, Arsenal's results in all comps in 2022. Boy, draws against Burnley and Liverpool, out of the cup against Liverpool, dealt with against Forest, Liverpool, and courageous performance against City, but fundamentally a loss. Burnley, how Westwood never got sent off, I don't know, but they're actually going 111 games without having a red dog. Boy, and Westwood was moving brazy. Arsenal failed to score in 4 consecutive games for the first time since December 2005. So we're back to breaking the wrong records. Arsenal had 20 shots against Burnley, the most they've had in the Premier League in a home game without scoring in 6 seasons. How many hit the target? How many really tested Nick Pope? So yeah, and we can close that. And again, I don't even want to scroll down on Orbino's Twitter account, but yeah, man, that wraps up our the transfer bit and whatnot, people. So what have you lot got to say about that? Really, it is what it is. We still ain't got 200 likes. Run up the likes. Isak is worth the dice. No one is a guarantee. No one's a guarantee. But if you want to sign Isak because you've scouted him and you believe he's the best. Don't do it because it's a panic and you're scared to get no one. As you've seen, every signing's a risk, but Arsenal have not really taken educated risks. Jonathan David could easily be a shout because he likes Arsenal and apparently was talking to us in December. The fact that he's talking allegedly. Isak has so much tools in his locker. Rapid, 6'4", dribbling and technique. He's very humble and hardworking, contrary to Vlahovic. We don't know if Vlahovic isn't hardworking or humble. I mean, it's not making sense. Jonas, you lost me at that. We don't know if he's humble or not. That don't make sense. How do you know? We've heard a bunch of rumors about Vlahovic and whatnot. We haven't heard it come out the guy's mouth. Maybe we need some arrogant players. Go and get Ward-Prowse. Would love that, but you're not gonna scope that. I would just wonder how Juventus will play for Vlahovic if rumors are true. They literally have no money. They'll make it happen, man. It's Juventus. Vlahovic ghosting his club because of Arsenal. Free my guy. If he doesn't want to come here and just get a 30 midfielder, sort out the striker stuff in the summer. I hear you. I'm all for sorting out the striker stuff in the summer, but we probably need to do that now. We need to forget about Aubameyang. Not like when he plays, he's scoring. Who is scoring at the club? And we would like to forget about Aubameyang, but last time I checked, you haven't got a striker at the club. So that's doing the business. So fans are going to talk about him. Is playing Pepe up front an option? It's looking like that. But, boy, Osimhen is class, but they'd want a lot. Plus, he's injured right now. Boy, Arsenal getting Isak on the last day of the season and missing out on Vlahovic will be deja vu to us chasing our all transfer window, and getting Partey on the last day. I don't know who's going to win AFCON, if I'm honest. I would have said Nigeria, but they're out now, isn't it? So who knows? Vlahovic is not coming anywhere near this dump, and Isak is useless if you're one of the few who actually watch the Spanish league. Useless is harsh, but boy. Is it mad to say Mika was more? Don't know what happened there. Apologies, folks. Let me exit. No clue what happened there. This is a shambles, DG. Come on. Like and subscribe. People don't be doing the main man dirty. Anthony, I appreciate that. Big up, DG. Mad work rate. Don't always tune in, but I see you active 24/7. Love, bro. Keep going. Appreciate that, D. Appreciate that. DG, the players we want to sign are ready to come. What alternative should be here? I don't know, but this is where the club need to scout. Bear man, you've known you needed a long-term striker since the season where we was talking about Aubameyang's new deal, or the season before that. You knew once you gave Aubameyang this 3-year deal, he was going to be here for the present. And worst came to worst, in an ideal world, between now and next year, you'd probably make him a sort of squad player, rotation option. He's not the same player, but somewhat what Lacazette is. So there has to be a bag of targets by all means. If you've wanted Vlahovic from his partisan days, you've got Vlahovic, Isak, Jonathan David, this guy, and then you have my man from a next league, because all these strikers, it's easy for me to sit here and say, but all these guys have to come from somewhere. You know, can you find that Lewandowski in Poland? Could you have grabbed Vlahovic like Florentina before Partizan? There's got to be plan B, plan C, plan D targets and alternatives. I would want a number 9, but if you can't get a number 9, do you get a goal scoring winger like we had with Alexis? And it's easy to say, but and it's harder to find. But could you grab a Mo Salah, and then maybe you can throw Martinelli up front and give him scope to develop? Because the goal scorers in our team are not traditional goal scorers. I like Saka and he's scoring goals, but would you say he's a goal scorer? Would you say Smith Rowe's a goal scorer? Martinelli can get goals. Would you say he's a goal scorer right now? No, they're all trying to learn to do that. Dangerous game, you know. Smith Rowe and Saka have put up decent numbers, but even if they get to 10 goals, 10 assists, which is achievable, they've only done it once. They've got to show they can do it again and again. When the window closes, I understand strikers asking a lot. I'm more one a midfielder. They're of equal importance. You don't bring a midfielder in, then pack up, man. It's just basic incompetence. Bro, can the 3-4-3 system... Bro, can the 3-4-3 system have more efficiency with the current crop of players? It's not a system thing. Like, you can do a bunch of systems. It's a personnel thing, man. Like, don't matter what system you play, 3 at the back. You're gonna need your centre halves to get on the ball more. You're gonna need your mid more from your midfield pivot. As long as we finish above United this season, it's still a W for me. I mean, ignorance is bliss, I guess. We need a fox in the box. Someone that can just fucking score, bruv. Pepe's our top scoring player, yet doesn't play. Man said the fan base are clapped, bro. Weird. I'm so depressed, DG, you ain't getting no. Let's hold on to the end of the window, but wait, man. DG, do you think the signing of Aubameyang was too short-sighted? I'd say that because now fans aren't rating the FA Cup win. We could have got a centre mid and be further forward overall. I don't think the two are interlocked. I really don't think they're interlocked. It's just time has shown different things. And again, the right decision at the time to sign him with a new deal. But you haven't built upon. And again, the problem is we only want to fix things when they've become a problem. Aubameyang shouldn't be vital to the squad like that, especially with his lack of general play. You know, it's like Xhaka. We're only looking at a midfielder now. We've got people ingrained in the team that are not good enough for them. No fans knew who Vlahovic was until linked with Arsenal. Now he's being rated just behind Haaland. I think that's harsh and that's a lie. I can verify myself. I don't know about that, but yeah. Can't believe we're leaving all this to the last week of the window. Complete lack of preparation. Amateur hour at Arsenal. Can't disagree with that. Big up DG. No chance of Isak. Firstly, the release clause. Secondly, he wants to go to Barca. Thirdly, he's ex-Dortmund. So Ober's in his ears telling him, don't do it, brother. Boy. Boy. Cutting off our nose to spite our face. We do need a fox in the box, but right now the bar is low. I'd be happy with someone who can shoot with their boots. I've read your Vlahovic comment, my guy. I don't know what else you want me to do, man. The world don't revolve around one central comment. Pepe's being treated unfairly. Hear that? Think we'll get Arthur, but that's it. I don't know what we'll get, man. Give Pepe the ball in the box and let him do his thing. I love Pepe, but it's just going to be bare breakdancing, man. The agent of Dusan Vlahovic was called into, I guess, Fiorentina in the next few hours. Juventus will have direct contacts with Fiorentina to try and bring Vlahovic. Right now, the player wants to leave. We take Van der Beek, yeah, but he looks like another soft youth that needs an arm around him, man. I kind of want players that don't need that at this moment in time, players that are just hard body at this moment. Chambers had to play right back against Burnley. Should have seen the same thing, really. But I think it's crazy, man. And for me, the very fact that we're waffling about the same couple of strikers, it tells me we ain't done our due diligence. There should be one brought in that we don't know about at all. Serious internet problems, fucking hell, but we keep going, man. Bro, I love Pepe, but it's gonna be breakdancing, ripping bare, man, twisting, turning, billing it, lighting it, rolling it, billing the next one, twisting and turning, but not scoring, man. Yeah, man, I had to come out and come back in. Our fan base do that, man, and then we start. Partey's a good player, but we made out that he's amazing. We do it with every player, and then fans are shocked and behold when it's not happening. They do it with young players as well. Gas up Balogun's team. He plays, lo and behold, a young striker that ain't been exposed to first team football struggles. Man, start saying he's overrated. Fans, a lot of fans don't. A lot of this, as much as I criticize the club, a lot of fans don't practice what they preach. They have mediocre standards because now they're waffling about Laka. Laka was when we was winning. Man, they're saying new deals for guys like him and El Nene. You know. Very hypocritical stuff fans come out with. They don't hold themselves to the high standards and they act mediocre at times. And fans they just gas it up, man. Fans don't do no due diligence. They make hot takes of 30 seconds, good or bad. Gas up Charlie Patino. Lo and behold, a young midfielder who's never been exposed, much less to first team football, much less apart from training with Arsenal. A harsh game at Nottingham Forest. You're struggling. You're surprised he's struggling. Fans just chat a lot of shit, man, if I'm honest with you. As much as I criticize the club. Respectfully. And to be fair, it's not for fans to do anything wrong because they're not at the training ground. We need proven, tried and tested players now, not players with limit potential. We have them already. Isak is tight with the Arsenal WSL team's Swedish manager and players, so slight possibility. Dusan's getting warning signs from Torreira, so he ain't coming. Plus, as you said, he only wants Juventus. DG, you have to choose 2 out of the 4 midfielders. Awa, Sanchez, Guimaraes, Melo. Two out of the 3, Sanchez stay at yard. Then Guimaraes, Melo, Awa, any 2 of the 3, I'll be happy with. Sanchez can stay at yard. I'd like Ollie Watkins to sign. I don't mind him, but please no. I already got frustrating players here. All he does is dive. We will fix it. Would you change Juventus on Arthur? I'd like to bring Arthur if that's what you're asking. I do think Arsenal are not in a rush this window because top 4 wasn't a realistic target. Top 6 is acceptable. Even top 6, could you say you're not even in the top 6 right now? Someone's got to miss out, you know. You got City's going to probably be up there. In my opinion, City, well, it's not even my opinion. City are going to win the league. You've got Liverpool there. Chelsea are probably going to make that. We hope Chelsea keep being inconsistent bar the Spurs result. You know, Chelsea going to be, that's 3 places. You're in a fight mathematically. You know, if I'm United, if I'm Arsenal, I'm definitely not Spurs. But if I was Spurs, if I was West Ham, I would think I can get 4th ahead of each other. But that's a roulette. And before we talk about the others, we're defeating ourselves. You've got to be able to take advantage of things. We have to be able to take advantage of Burnley and be in this week where we know what's going on. Top 6 again. I don't know. Conte only lost 1 game since he's been Premier League now with Spurs. Cristiano Ronaldo plays for United. You know they're going to book it at some point, and they've been poor in their last 2 games. It doesn't matter because they got 6 points. They played worse than us in our game against City. We didn't beat City. They picked up 6 points, in their 2 games. All that matters is points on the board. Everyone's got to play 38 games. Very funny how the team that's gone from we'd rather points on the board FC is now turned into games in hand FC real quick. Top 6 is probably Europe. That's why I said Europe. Top 6 should be acceptable regardless of where we are. And I say acceptable subjectively. At me as an Arsenal fan of what we're accustomed to, of course not. Within the current context and pride aside, it probably is. So, boy, and could you even top 6? You can't say you're going to finish top 6 on form. You know. Can you, you know what? City, Liverpool, Chelsea. Let's just say, I don't want to say Spurs. So I don't even want to say United, but let's just say West Ham get 4th. Could you say you're gonna finish ahead of Spurs and United wholeheartedly? I don't know. So tired of watching Arteta and Eddie do this interim in some positives, but just as much deficiencies in their management and planning so far. They definitely be billing it, man. Big up Pepe, but we always look at people who are not involved as the Messiah. Like, I get it. Maybe Xhaka and Partey help us. Maybe if Aubameyang's fit, he could do something. But, and I know people won't really believe the Aubameyang one. These guys have been here and we've put in that shift. It's always the player that ain't involved that's the Messiah. Boy, what a club, eh? I said it isn't true for me. Mr. Waffle, you're living up to your name. You're not listening. You're just chatting, man. You got 2 ears, 1 mouth. Please use the ratio. Spoke for myself. We are supposed to be a big club, but I mean, we've got to move away from that. We're not convincingly a top 4 club. This is top 6. That's where we're at. Top 4 to 6 has to be the goal. I want to achieve stuff. I want to win, but we need to move that mask of why we moved to the Emirates of what Arsenal's about. This is why you need balance. On one hand, yes, we need to have big standards, but you're going to kill yourself if you still try and hold yourself to the standards of what Arsenal used to be. And you're going to just sound like a prick, in my opinion, if you cut what some people do, just cut a bag of excuses for this nonsense that we do at times. You need balance. Multiple truths can be held in the same realm. And I think a lot of Arsenal fans fail to take heed of stuff, especially when this is so emotionally charged. This is why I appreciate you lot, because you're good at that. Look at the way Arsenal do their transfer business. Partey signs on the last day. Pure Robbie jiggling around him. Oh, Robbie done that to himself, bro. No one told Robbie to bust them stiff moves. Like, he saw the bag, he knew the spot of fighting. Partey. Shout Donelo, whatever his name is, Donelo. I used to listen to you as well. Fuck all of that, man. You know, signed the thing fiasco, bro. Myth, man. No one told him. No one told them, man, to do that. Top 6 should probably save you your job, but there should be question marks, man. Key point you made. Are we going to take advantage of other teams' misfortune? No, we never do. I hear that top 4 wasn't guys on the opportunities as they arrive. Exactly. Goals and things change. I know it's not Football Manager, but some of you have been playing FM. The target might be Europe. You're doing all right. They sit there and they say, you know what, you want to change. That's what needs to happen. 100%. I mean, so on one hand, 100% people are right, but things change. You know, Leicester weren't going into the season. They won the league thinking we're going to win it. Variables happened. They saw it through to the end. On one hand, yeah, man, we're saying 6th, 8th, because why we were seeing that? Now there's optimism. You need to pattern up, man. DG, I started smoking again. I'm super stressed. Send me some flavors. Oh, yeah, no, I don't like smoking kills. You know, meditate, my guy. Maybe Xhaka is the Messiah. He keeps right. My problem is Arteta isn't good enough, but then who is available to take over? It's the recruitment that's the problem. We've been left short time and time again. And Arteta's part of that, you know. Arteta, let's not lie, he has a serious hand in the transfers, you know. Thank God he wanted Pep Ramsdale and not Neto. He wanted Tomiyasu and not Emerson Royal and that. Brave. Gazy ones, man. Because they've got Roman Abramovich, bro. They've got Roman Abramovich. We don't have that. Roman Abramovich doesn't lie down for too long. You know, you've seen his thing. He don't lie down for long. I'd rather have no European football than do up Europa League. Shh, boy. We need not to worry about AFTV excitement. Those guys are passion merchants. Nothing wrong with it, but don't get carried away. I mean, people like sensationalism and shit, man. Pagueta's a baller. Pepe using Raw. Do you think we'll sign a striker in this window? Probably not, but what do I know? I didn't think we'd sign AUBAMEYANG in January when we did. So I hope so. But again, it's the cynics might say it's the hope. England's been a serious enemy of progress today, man. You're embarrassing me. I'm having a great chat with my friends. What is going on, man? Might just have to hold it until it sorts itself out. I think you lot can still hear me. It's just doing that frozen. Ivory Coast winning AFCON. Why not? Top 4 to 6 is doable. Problem is people expect youngsters to get on the gate to that level. Say that again, man. Say that again. They expect miracles from things that aren't going to happen. It's not going to happen. That is it, really. I might just quickly reset this, people, very quickly for you guys. In fact, let me do that, man. Probably a 30-second delay, people. Big up you lot that are staying with me. One love to you lot that are dropping off. Let me go reset this shit very quickly. Let me show you the goal in the meantime. Let me show you something good. Hopefully it shows.
You always use that active red light defenders. I think it's like
Big up you lot for patterning that, man. Again, let's hope there's been a change. I don't think there has. It must be a weather thing. I've pressed the reset button. It is what it is at this point, people. I'll be real. There's nothing else I can do. Try the thing. They can't stop me. You know, we keep going, man. One love to everyone that stayed with me and everyone else who bust out. Fuck y'all niggas, man. Hey, is what it is. Anyways, what else have I missed? Man pulled a Xhaka and went off. To be fair, I came back, you know. In terms of money, we can compete with Chelsea. I get you with Roman being ruthless. That's what Arsenal should do. But that's because Roman wants to be a winner, bro. When you think of Roman Abramovich, winner, you know, anytime it looks a bit shaky at Chelsea, too cool, you know, things can happen. You know, Chelsea are ruthless. Even when Chelsea rub out and have dead seasons, they don't lie down for long because Abramovich wants to be a winner. So that means the transfer man, the academy man, all these lot have to be the best they want to be. Marina, apologies, I can't remember her name. She has to be serious. Checking whatever role has to be serious. We've got Kroenke, who's a hands-off guy, gives his son to this thing, you know. We've got everybody's just left to their own devices, really and truly. You never get, as much as I love my club, you can't say Arsenal want to win. You can't say, you know, you can't say we want to win. We want to win. We want to win the Premier League. We'd like to be back in that. We'd love to move to that. You could say Chelsea like to. Bro, I hear that. But you say Conte's left. You've won the Champions League since then. Like, you get it. Like, however you did it, innit? DG, do you trust the process? I trust some things. I haven't seen enough to be fully convinced with trusting anything. I trust what I can see. I've seen little bits and pieces to be happy about, little things to be concerned about. I haven't seen anything to move in either direction. This season at the start, it was all doom and gloom. The other part of the season's been good. Now we've taken a bit of a wobble. So I haven't seen nothing to trust anything. I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't seen anything I can say 100% I'm behind. Like if I was a Liverpool man for Klopp, City for Pep, and any other things really and truly like that. To a degree, even fucking, pardon my French, Potter over there at Brighton, up until a point, maybe Rodgers at Leicester. But yeah, man. And Eddie concerns me because even if he rises up midfielders, like, what's his thing saying? Because all the Athletic article was saying where the club always filter info is that Arteta said, I want A. Eddie was trying to come with B. Arteta was saying, yo, listen, I don't want Neto. I don't want Emerson Rowe. I don't want this, man. I don't want that, man. Go and get that. But this is where you need a director of football. A more experienced one might say, listen, I hear what you're doing with Eddie and Nketiah and Lacazette, but one, the balance sheet is the balance sheet. Two, now these men are not levels. You need to remove your feelings and we need to bring you in. Or maybe an experienced guy is able to utilize some contacts. And let's be real, clearly, Eddie ain't got the best contacts in the world. Man, ain't really seen no South American source come through like that. He can't even claim the Martinelli one. He can claim Pablo Mari, who was a Spaniard playing in Brazil, you know. He can't claim much. Who knows? Emerson Rowe and Neto might have banged, but boy, I have to go on what I'm seeing then. Bro, I can't lie. You know, Arteta's got a rubbed record against Burnley. I think he's got one with 5 I saw online. That might be worse, but boy. Our final third finishing has been booky, to be honest, DG. We lack threat in the final third recently. Predictable, disjointed, and it's the same old players. And people read it. Come on, man. We're the perfect team for Burnley to play. 2 very different anti-footballing styles. It was always going to be that, man. You can't blame Arteta for now because we don't have enough players for Arteta to manage. Okay. So how can you blame Edu then? Because as much as I don't want to defend Edu, Arteta's the one who picks the squad. Arteta's the one who makes it. Every 25 member of that 25-man squad was there because Arteta wanted them, with the exception of probably Kolasinac, to the point where Eddie and Laka were still there. So what are we talking about? As much as it's poor on Edu, it's poor on Laka, on Arteta. He sanctioned these departures. I don't disagree with Guendouzi, with Torreira, with Ainsley Maitland-Niles, because these lot were on the peripheral of things. And, they, you know, for Guendouzi, it looked like there was going to be no resolution to you and Arteta's fighting. Torreira didn't want to be in England. Ainsley can't get games. So I understood it. He sanctioned them leaving, but they're all midfielders who have ability to play in midfield. Suddenly you let them go. You haven't got midfield. So we're talking about Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who, as much as I love him, let's be honest, nothing to scream and shout about. We're talking about AUBAMEYANG, who, let's be honest, has been horrible, you know, because you haven't got... What do you expect people to talk about? So, of course, you can blame Eddie and Arteta, you know. Clearly didn't want a midfielder that, apart from Lukonga, with scope to grow and replace Xhaka. So, what are you talking about? We're in this together, man. Oh, fuck. He has been cleaning up the mess, but why can't you consider multiple things? You've done good, you've done bad. Eddie's done good, he's done bad. The players have done good this season and done bad. Why is it one sort? Listen, bad boy, that ain't no sword. That's a you man thing. But you know, why is only one truth gonna live when it's not black and white? There's good things Arteta's done. There's bad things he's done. He's cleaned up a lot of mess. He's also cleaned up a lot of his own mess and a lot of mess that he inherited. You think I'm going to give you brownie points for not playing Willian anymore, for playing a consistent centre-half pairing, for finding some clarity over midfield? What are you lot talking about? You lot don't sound like Arsenal fans. You sound like either Arteta haters or Arteta apologists or loyal to these players. You're not loyal to the club. Man, I'm chatting shit, man. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Every win, lose, or draw together. When we fucking lose, everyone can take accountability. When we fucking win, everybody takes it. Stop chatting shit, man. Apologies to everything, but you don't know you're chatting shit. You know in your heart you're waffling. You know in your heart you're waffling. Like, man. Everyone gets blamed. When we win, everyone gets praised. How many times? Allow it, man. He's not going to shaggy. Allow it, bro. Come out. This is not the chat for you, man. We're not here for agendas. We're here to talk football at its purest level and the good and the bad. You have to come out of this thing, man. You're not serious. Like, man. Squid Games, you're gone. With 4-3-3, we always struggle to create. We are still not there as a team to play that form. Every formation we struggle, man. Really. There was a point where we was running free at the back because we said, you know what? There's no creativity there. We've got a 2-2 bit of defensive stability. Let's just run this. And that's what it seems like with me. I don't get twisted. There's clearly a way Arteta wants to play, but it just looks like we stumble across something, which was at this moment the Lacazette up fronting, and then we just run it until it looks shaky. Same way we had two strikers, same way we tried to run just AUBAMEYANG up front, and we've done a couple other bits and pieces. Come on, man. Like fam. Bro, some man are out here giving credit for things that man should be doing as a standard manager or a manager of an elite club, and no other issues like that's enough of that. Because man got vested interest. I want Arteta to do well because it does well for us. Other than that, I don't care. I have no doubt that Arteta is going to be a good manager here or elsewhere, but I don't care. You know, if you're not going to do it here or not. So I'm not going to support or blame stuff where I don't feel is right just because it's cool to say. Come on now. There's a lot to blame Arteta about. He's the manager. You know, there's a lot for him that there's not much he could do. I don't really blame him for the 90 minutes against Burnley. I blame him for the reason we had and Arteta for the standard of players we've had to go against Burnley, which was enough to get the job done. But yeah, man, you lot are smart enough, man. And I can't lie, the only thing I can't back, I don't know why Smith Rowe come off in it. Like I didn't get that one. I didn't get that one. Arteta needs to sort out his differences with AUBAMEYANG, grown man business. He might do, because as I said, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. You might not like your nose. You cut off your nose. Yeah, you're going to breathe. Win, lose, or draw. I take pride in the Arsenal badge. It's in my blood. Come from pretty much a family of Arsenal fans. Big up you lot. I remember long ago we used to be a mid-table team, but still won trophies. Yeah, I was speaking with Graham. He remembers when Arsenal were kind of shit. I remember when Arsenal, in my 26 years, Terry, when we were called glory hunters. Psh. If you are going to ship out so many players, you have to replace at least some. It's as simple as that. Impressed with the clean sheets and defensive tactics, but we need a good striker ASAP. Trust. One thing from Burnley, I thought Holding looked good. I'm glad for him. You know, I'm holding FC, but I think he was media. I'll be real. Defensively, not asked really cruel questions, but on the ball, it's terrible, especially when we're trying to chase the game and he's trying to do things above his pay grade. I think the fans have to realize Arteta is being backed by the board to death. We need to back him too because the payoff could be big. I mean, I back Arteta, but it doesn't back me. My form of backing doesn't mean just blindlessly condoning things. I back Saka and Smith Rowe to the death. If they play shit, is what it is. I'm sure some of you lot back me to the death. If I do a video you don't like, or if I do something that's out of character, I expect to be told about it. Some of you are parents. You love your kids. Are you going to condone all the bullshit they do, or are you going to say something else? Listen to what some of you are saying. It's not making sense. I don't tell you lot what to think. I always say, I don't tell you lot what to think. I tell you lot to think. Use your brains. Stop yourself when you're saying stuff and think, oh, am I chatting shit? You know, or what I'm being drip fed in the media, or what someone's drip feeding me. Does it make sense? I don't know. You'd have to answer that, man. You lot are smart enough to get where I'm going with that. You lot respect yourselves, man. You're smarter than this, some of you. Don't get twanged. Don't twang yourselves. The man said, even with the lag, DG got more visual quality in his streams than Arsenal's midfield. Bloody hell, you lot are not playing today. People are not playing today. It's not making sense, bro. We have a legitimate top 4 chance this season. We need a striker 100%, maybe a two-way midfielder. But what's the point in going for Vlahovic if he doesn't want to come? Amen. Board costing us again. Trust. Them one-off bad games can be ignored, but them silly losses time and time again that aren't learnt from can't be ignored just because we are supposed to support the manager. Speaking for myself, when we drop points, even when we win, the lack of the midfield, the question marks over strikers, anyone goes through my videos, I've been saying the same thing. I don't know. I can only be accountable of myself, but I'm only saying the same things because I'm seeing the same things. But I knew a lot of Arsenal fans failed to think when Emre's unbeaten run, because that was one of my hardest times on YouTube, because I'm watching the games. I'm like, it's a bit like Conte's unbeaten run. Like, it's kind of smelly, you know. What kind of meaty, you know? Like, and I deeped it when we had to come back from behind against Palace. I mean, not Palace, away at Cardiff. I'm like, yo, something's beaky here, you know. People are gassing it. The problem is people only want to talk when there's a result that hasn't gone well. You know, respectfully, I'm not going to sit here and saying I'll be going Kroenke out, but you can imagine if we keep on like this, the Kroenke out things happening again. When it was going wavy at the start, well, not the start of the season, but at a period, you probably would struggle to get 10 Arsenal fans to pick it outside for the Emirates. Any other club, the manager would have been toasted by now, but we offer a 2-year extension. I'm not confident of any big signing this window. I don't think we need big signings. We need the right signings. Like, I swear it's the same cycle with Arsenal. Win a few games, we get gas, we might get Europe, then go for a poor run of form. Everyone loses their shit and it's Arteta out again. And this is the problem. People are lack balance. We're never as good as we think we are when we're winning stuff, if we're winning stuff. We're never as bad as we think we are, as difficult as that to say. We need balance. We're still an inconsistent team. We've got inconsistent players, an inconsistent manager at times where we see the good, bad, and the ugly, and young players where you see the good, bad, and the ugly. But Arsenal fans love conclusions. You know, Marie's better than Gabriel. Tavares benches Tierney and he's better than Tierney. We're back. We're top 4. We can start looking at second and third. Boy. Wow, we. Arteta trying to stop DG's stream, adding lag. He can't take this every day. You know he's watching over lunch with his wife. Arteta always kills our game with Eddie. He's nowhere near good. Arteta is a coward coach. We need to back Freddie. That's harsh. This team is not ready for Europe. Hey, ready or not, they're going to have to do that. They're going to have to. If you don't get Europe, then anything left, finishing 6th in the ideal world should be a sackable offense. But if you finish 8th again, if you don't get Europe, I don't think that's a sackable offense. But someone's got to answer. Personally, I've said it before. I think Edu will get the clip before Arteta. And you know what? I'm not going to say I'm against that, really. You know, maybe an experienced guy can make stuff happen, and maybe Arteta we can mask his youthful naiveties. I don't know, though, man. What's the Isak news? Scroll all the way. Let me give you a timestamp, man. I'll give you a timestamp. Just go to 28:20 to 57, and we spoke about all the transfer stuff. To be honest, Arteta's proven he'll fall out with players. Isak is Oba's old teammate. Why would he want to play for a manager with shit man management? I mean, he's got to judge it for himself. He can't do stuff because of other people. Managers are always going to fall out with people. But this is where this is where Arteta needs to learn. Even when you want to freeze a man out, you look at Ralph Rangnick. It's not the same with Van der Beek and these guys. But you've got to play the game a bit. You know, you might need these players at least until the end of the season. And that's true. Some players make just one mistake and never play again, while some make mistakes every game and play 90. DG giving you the easy views and help. Just press the like button to help him. Appreciative. Fuck up the YouTube algorithm. There's no Isak news. We spoke on that already. You know, allegedly Ornstein and that said we're going to go for him, which was quite predictable, but... Man said Richarlison is not that guy by any means. Sometimes I watch him and I think he's sick. Sometimes I look at him and I'm like, oh, you look a bit dodgy. I'm not going to lie to you. Edu needs to be replaced. A simple loan deal for Arthur shouldn't take a month to sort out, surely. Boy. Young board, young manager, young players. It's just about the intention, man. Like, let's just hope something gets done, man. Because specifically where midfield's concerned, I don't have any sympathy. I only have sympathy for the fans. I don't have sympathy for the club because, once again, we knew what we needed to do. Boy. Oh, well. So if I keep going, man. There's always tomorrow in life, man. There's always tomorrow. Let me see if there's anything else surrounding us. No, we've spoken about AUBAMEYANG. I mean, we're going to need Agent Odegaard, man. We're going to need Agent Odegaard. Yo, Isak, you want to come here sort of stuff? I don't know. But that's even that. The fans turned on Smith Rowe and Saka. You remember before we played the London Derby, them and they were onto him. People are back onto Saka now as well. Like, now, obviously, I'm not talking about the fans who, obviously, if you've played poorly and stuff. But certain fans are too emotional, and I know football's very emotional. But it's, and I don't advocate having balance for the sake of it. But you really need to use your marbles in this football thing. Saka needs a rest, of course, man. Over relying on a 20-year-old, as great as he is, that he's going to show you he's a young man. Arsenal they're running Arsenal like it's a penitentiary the way they deal with AUBAMEYANG and Ozil. Man, act like it's easy to do business, but at the same time, Edwin Arteta have to do better. Facts. Appreciate that, Terry. Spend on odd on. We spend 20 million on deadline day midfielder from FC Basel. Aye, as long as they're the right guys. Man said DG's connection about as good as Arsenal fans. Some Arsenal fans grip with reality. That's a good one. Isak's mother's neighbor was once seen in the armory, so he must be coming. Trust. You sure it was his mother's neighbor? His mother's neighbor or his mother's neighbor's cat sitter's dog or something? I don't know. DG, what would you pay for Tony? Less sorry than they would want, man. They're trying to say 50 million. I'm sorry, myth. Some of our fans just live in la la land, man. I would like Guendouzi to come back, Scott, but you got to kiss that one day. Goodbye, Zachariah. It's just too easy to be reactionary. Collecting facts and speaking on them takes long and it's too hard to stay. If people just people act like people just want to scream and shout, man. People just want to scream and shout and carry on, man. You know, I'm seeing people come out here and call Tomiyasu shit based on the Liverpool game. With their chest, man are coming out and calling Tomiyasu shit. I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not saying there's improvement, but really, that says it all. Gary, you're 100%. The young players are tired physically and mentally. They're going to be. They've got the weight on their shoulders, as great as it is. You know, they've got the weight of this club's shoulders on them to the point where the gaffer's looking at them to make the difference as well, like that. Isak is only 22 and played great at Euro 2020. Unpopular opinion, I think people are gassing it in the Euros. They're gassing it. I'm not saying he played bad, but that's what you call gassing it. Gassing it. No one is moved shameless like Arsenal brothers, man. When they, the way man like to flip narratives. Oi. And I mean, I'm sure you also saw Stan Kroenke at the NFL yesterday. The devil doesn't rest at all. Isak has a higher ceiling than all our strike targets. He just needs a good manager. I don't know about all of that. I just want the players that I listen, all that potential stuff covered there. I just want people to you know, just want the right players, man. Just want the right players. I'm gonna stay away from all these, you know, mad statements. Let's just bring in players that can do the job, man. Boy, Isak will be a terrible buy. DG, do you have a WhatsApp group? We soon get the Discord, and WhatsApp's a bit breezy. Should never buy a player based on a good tournament, based on a whole signing on a couple of weeks of players at your work, boy. James Rodriguez. We all remember Arteta's the guy to push him back on the pitch when they're injured. You think he cares about being tired? They're planning a trip to Dubai. I know what I'm going down there. But respectfully, man, thoughts and prayers. Schick is someone you'd say you lit up the Euros trust, and even fuck with that, man. I'd rather us try and get involved in the Darwin Núñez comments, like Alexander has said here. DG, who do you see us getting in this window? Honestly, I don't know. Wait and see. Let's see what's going on. I said I'll personally shut my mouth to the end of the window. And it is what it is, man. Hey, the Ricky, I've said it earlier, that Ricky guy that we're linked with at Empoli, sir, he can play. I don't know how he'll correlate to the English game, but he's very good in tight spaces, got a good range of passing, can carry a ball forward, wants the ball in tight situations and scenarios. You know, everything that points towards he needs to be representing Arsenal at the carpet, really and truly. And maybe Empoli are playing quite good football this season, to be fair with you. Maybe we'll be able to move for that, but boy, I mean, Chiesa, they're the man there. You have to get Florentina, man. They're the guys you have to bag when they're at Florentina, but it's crazy, man. On that note, though, people, don't forget to join me later today, people. I'm going to be live on Twitch. I'm going to be playing Football Manager again. I'm actually not focused on it, but we're top of the league. The link's there. Obviously, again, one love to everyone who was at my live stream earlier. Again, make sure you're following on Twitch, people. You're not going to miss a bag of content, people. Again, I haven't finished, but we've got a bag of content to come this week on Twitch. If you look, obviously, big up everyone who was here. We spoke about Arsenal slightly earlier. We're here. And then Wednesday, that should be Mo. Yeah, we've got Mo. Tomorrow, I'm back at 10 a.m. Graham's coming up on the 2nd of February. So there's hella content to arise from myself, people. So it is what it is, man. You're finally top of the table. Listen, we're not looking at that. I'm still following Football Manager 2007. Not sure what that means, Tristan, but I'll take your word for it, my guy. Weird flex, but okay. But yeah, man. We've spoken about the transfers. We've spoken about Arsenal. A couple uploads to come today as well on YouTube with more thoughts and me more pouring my heart out. But on that note, you lot have a good week. Stay blessed, stay safe. I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. on Twitch, 11:30 on YouTube, and is what it is. Make sure you're following on Twitch because, again, you lot think I'm lying. There's going to come a point where live content is going to live just on Twitch and, you know, you'll still get content on YouTube. But, again, these 11:30s will move over there. So, yeah. And make sure you're subscribing with Amazon Prime if you can as well, man. So, yeah, on that note, it is what it is. You lot stay blessed, stay safe, have a good week. Or, you know, have a good week. If you don't come back, have a good day. You know, stay healthy and, yeah, hit the like button.
Because you always use that active red light defenders. I think it's like...